In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a guardian farm that requires no redstone and no nether portals. It's incredibly fast, giving over 16,000 drops per hour. You'll have an option of either just collecting the guardian drops at the bottom of each drop chamber, or setting up a water stream system that brings all the drops to one central location. Let's dive in now. Now, as far as materials go, what you're going to need. Everywhere that you see me use glass, this is how much you need. It's a lot. It does not need to be glass though. Any solid block will work perfectly fine. I used glass so you guys could see a little bit better here. You'll also need, wherever you see me use diamond blocks, this is what you'll need too. These are mainly for blocking the spawning of the guardians. Again, any solid block is fine. Diamond blocks just look cooler, so that's why I use them. And then lastly, all of your other materials that you need are here. 24 enchanting tables or bells are going to be needed for this system. If you're going to be using the water stream method that I'll show you later, you do not need that if you're going to be using the chest dropping method. You'll need the packed ice for the water stream method as well. The hoppers and the chests are for that method too, for the storage. Although if you're going to do just dropping directly into the chest, you will only need 24 hoppers and 48 chests, I believe, will be what you need there. The polished blackstone buttons you see here were for me to block slime spawns down below, so that's going to kind of vary depending on what kind of slime chunks you may have in your area. And the oak buttons you see me have here, those are needed for each of the drop chambers. Okay, so first thing you got to do to make a guardian farm is find an ocean monument. And we have one right here. Now, when it comes to your ocean monument, one thing it's going to help a pretty decent amount, and it's going to be hard for you to figure this out. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, honestly, is you want to make sure that there's not a lot of space down below underneath your farm for mobs to spawn in the cave spawning area. So basically, we want to make sure there aren't a lot of caves down below. Now, just to give you guys an example, I'm going to put on spectator mode and show you that underneath your monument, there may be a decent amount of caves that you have to go through and explore. Now, luckily, you don't have to explore far. You need to go about 50 blocks in each direction from where you're AFKing at, and you need to light up the caves because a ocean monument uses cave spawning to spawn in the guardians that you're going to be killing, right? So if you have mobs that are alive down here in some of these caves, some of them are filled with water, so you don't have to worry about, but like, let's say you have some mobs like in here, in this area, right? It's pretty close to the monument where we would be AFKing. Well, they're going to be taking up the cap. That means that less guardians are going to end up spawning. So my recommendation for you guys in the end is going to be, you can go ahead and make the farm first, get everything done throughout this video. And then while your farm is running and operational, then start, digging around, going through, finding caves and getting rid of stuff. Now me, I'm in spectator mode right now. If you feel okay with doing that, you don't consider that cheating, then that's fine. You can put yourself in spectator mode as long as you enable it on the world, and then you can kind of fly through and just see where the caves are, and then put yourself back and then go make your way to the caves and fill them out. If you think that's cheating, then I mean that's fine too. You're just gonna have to go through, find the caves and light them up yourself. But that's enough of talking about that portion and selecting your ocean monument. Let's actually get to the part of making your farm. Okay, so next thing you're gonna want to do is you need to get rid of the elder guardians in here. So there's going to be 3 of them. One's going to be right here, one's going to be in there, and one's going to be in here. So you just need to break your way in. They're going to give you an effect that makes it so it takes a really long time to mine stuff. But if you have a netherite pickaxe with you with efficiency 5 on it, it's really not that bad. You can still just mine right through, no problem. But either way, you're gonna want to get yourself in here. You can blow it up with TNT, do whatever you want to do. And to go in on Bedrock Edition, these guys are really easy. If you just go in and spam click them a few times, odds are you can kill him before he can even like damage you, or he might shoot you once. So it's not really that hard. Same thing over here. You want to pop in right in the front here, and you should see, there's one right there. We would kill him. We would go back up and out. There's no need to go through this thing and get lost. You just have to know where they are. They're going to be in the same areas every single time. And you see there's the other one right there. So after you kill those guys, then you're still going to have to deal with these guys right here. But I'm going to show you how to find your spawning spots and then turn all of these guys off from being able to spawn anymore. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the center spawn spot. Now, these ocean monuments, they have a total of 25 spawning spots, and on Bedrock Edition, structure spawns always happen in the exact same location of structures, so we can very easily figure out every single spot the guardians are going to be able to spawn here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down to the little center here, and we're going to look for the positive X, positive Z side. So if I move in this direction, you see that the Z coordinate, -121, -119, -118, etc. This is the positive side of the monument. Now, if I go this direction right here, this is the positive side of the X. So you see the X number is going -250, -249. It's going in the positive direction. So positive, positive. That means this right here is my first spawning spot. So from this spot right here, just to make things nice and simple, we're gonna go 15 blocks in each direction, and then the 16th block will be a spawning spot. So just to show you, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this 16th one is a spawning spot. Do that coming out of all 4 sides. Okay, so now that you have your square, 15 blocks, and then the 16th block being that spawning spot, we are going to go out the positive direction on either side. We go in the positive Z direction right here. Get to this. We're gonna go another 9 spots. And on that 10th spot is gonna be another spawning spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is a spawn spot right there. Go the positive direction on the other side. This is the X axis, positive X. We're gonna do 9 again. 1, 2, 3, 9, and spawn. Now on the 2 remaining ones, the negative sides, it is 10 and then a spawn spot. So we can just count out again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11th is a spawn spot, and the same over here. Boom. So now you've figured out almost all the spawn spots. You figured out all the information you need to find the rest of the spawning spots, because the rest of the spawning spots are actually quite simple. If I were to, just to make it easy for you guys to see here, let me just grab a random block. If I were to go straight out from here and just take it all the way down to this last spawning spot right there, this is a spawning spot because it's an intersection between this and this. It's like a big grid pattern, right? So if I were to put this here, come down here, line up with this, put this here, you kind of see if I go up and look, it's a grid. So this is a spawning spot, this and that intersect, that's a spawning spot. So again, same thing here. So if I come out from this one right here, that's going to be a spawning spot, and that's going to be a spawning spot lined up there. And now just to give you one more overhead view, now that I have the little grid laid out, you can kind of see exactly how it works out. Everywhere that there's an intersection of spawn spots is where a new spawn spot is. So now we have all 25 spawn spots marked here. I will try to make this easy for you by throwing a graph up on the screen right now as well. That will give you a good look at the top-down view and the spawn spots more specifically. And you could pause the video on this graph if you think it's going to help you. Moving on though, now we need to block the spawns. So now blocking guardians from spawning is actually very easy. All you got to do is from each one of these, go straight down until you get to Y level 40, which is the bottom of the monument. Once you get down to Y level 40, you're going to want to go inside like this. Bam. No more guardians can spawn in this little area right here. You need to do that for every single one. That includes this middle one right here. You're going to have to chop your way down through the middle. So again, just kind of go down, go down, go down. And then once you get down to the bottom, make yourself a little pillar. That spawn spot is now blocked. Go ahead and do that 25 times. Okay, so if we've calculated correctly, we should not have any guardian spawns anymore. Let me go ahead and turn mob spawning on. And if I just kind of take a little look around here, as you see, there are no guardians spawning anywhere within this area, which is exactly what we wanted. And if we go down, just take a little peek on, oh, okay, I thought I could actually go under there. Looks like I cannot. So yeah, we're good. We have no guardian spawns happening at all. So now we can start focusing on actually killing the guardians. And now we're going to look at how to build the drop chute. It's actually incredibly easy. You're going to need any solid block to do it is fine. I'm going to use glass just because it's easier for you guys to see. You don't have to use glass though if you don't want to. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick one and we're just going to go up 2 spaces and then have 1 block floating in the air. That, for whatever reason, makes the guardians spawn a lot faster. I think it has something to do with like the cave mob cap or something like that. So we're gonna put that there. And then now we're gonna be building around this. Now we need to find either negative side. It doesn't matter which way it is. So if I'm moving this way, so this is the negative side and this is the negative side. You can kind of see when I move, just like we did before, that's moving into the negatives. That's moving into the negatives. So we could drop them either way. It doesn't really matter. Maybe just for aesthetic's sake, we're going to drop them off the back side here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this glass right here. And I'm just going to surround this drop chute, and we're going to surround this part too. This is going to be our whole drop area, right? So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to fill this in. So basically we're going to have like 2 columns of air. Now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to knock this out. We need to get rid of all of the water in here, but we actually need to go down further. I already did a little bit of testing and measuring on this, and we need to drop these guys from where they are up there down to Y level 27. So let me get rid of all the water through here, and then make yourself a hole that goes all the way down to Y level 27. And perfect. So now we just need to make the guardians spawn. This will be a lot of up and down. It might be a little annoying. You're going to have to kind of break in and out and swim and all that kind of stuff. Come back up here, knock out these 2 top blocks right here. So the 2 right below water level, place a button right here on this block and put some water right there. What's going to happen is this is now the only valid spot right there that a guardian can spawn at this spawning location. So it will spawn right here, and the water will push it off, and then it will drop down because there's all air below it. So what we're going to do, and I recommend you do this every single time you make one of these chutes, test it just to make sure, so that way you're not like doubling up on any of these steps, having to take a bunch of the towers out and putting them back in. If I back up here, there we go. We see them going and dropping. Now, because of where I am right now, they were actually despawning, and that has to do with your despawn radius in the game. Let me show you this really quick. If you're enjoying today's video, help it get discovered by more people by clicking the like button and leaving a comment. Also, if you enjoy my videos, click the subscribe button, join my Discord channel, and become a channel member by clicking the join button. Members get awesome perks, including access to my members only Minecraft servers. Now, back to the video. So if you're playing on Simulation Distance 4, mobs can spawn within 44 to 25 blocks away from you. Anything below 25 blocks is not spawnable. Mobs just can't spawn that close to the player. Anything more than 44 blocks away is outside of your simulation distance if you're playing on Simulation Distance 4. If you don't know what simulation distance you're playing on, then you're playing on Simulation Distance 4. That's the default amount for Minecraft Worlds on Bedrock Edition. It's the only thing that Realms can run on, and custom servers can select what simulation distance they want, but due to performance reasons, most of them are going to be running Simulation Distance 4. So this green little sphere right here, this is the area in which mobs cannot spawn if you're standing right there. So you can kind of see no mobs can spawn inside of there. I'm sorry, it's going to kind of be a little funky because I have to be able to see that thing for it to work. Everything between this green right there and that red over to the left, that's the area in which mobs can spawn. So we need to make sure that we are going to AFK or put ourselves in a spot where these guardians can both spawn, fall down about 32 blocks or so, hit the ground and die, and get as many of these spawn spots in as possible. I have that location for you. And that location, first of all, we're not going to use this spawn spot at all, actually. It's going to be 20 blocks below this. So we're at 61. You see the middle number, Y61. We need to be at Y41. Y41 is going to be the spot that we want to AFK at. So I'm just going to take ourselves down to right here. Now, what we'll probably want to do is we do want to make sure that no guardians can spawn in a spot. This is a spawnable spot. We do want to make sure that we keep this thing blocked off. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to make this whole little column air right here. That'll kind of allow me to mark the area, and I don't have to worry about guardian spawning here. And if you wanted to, you could even put a little ladder right here, and that'll give you a way to kind of get like in and out from this area. Because again, this is where we're going to want to be. You can make a room out of this, maybe empty some of the water out, or you could just simply just leave this a spot where you sit. That part I'm going to leave up to you. So if we're AFKing in that spot right there, and remember, we can't just go up in the air because then when these guardians fall, they're going to despawn, right? So if we are AFKing in that spot, every single spot except for the center spot is active. So we're getting 24 out of the 25 spots. Now, I'll make a little note here. If you're playing on a Simulation Distance 6 or higher world, you can position yourself about 26 blocks up from that 61 spot. So put yourself at about 86, about right here. You can AFK here on Simulation Distance 6 or higher, and the farm will work just fine. You don't have to go down below. So now that we know our AFK spot, and we know that we're going to use every single one of these other spawn spots, it's time to do this about 23 more times. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. But when I do it, I want them to be off. I'm going to test one of them at a time as I go through just to make sure I get spawns in all of them. And then I'm going to leave them turned off because once we get them all in, we're going to do a couple things down below just to make sure that we can kind of easily get all of our drops. Okay, so at this point, this is where you should be. You should have all... Oh, I almost forgot this one. I'm sorry. Okay, we're good. So you should have all 24 out of 25 spots all done and taken care of. So I'm going to give you two different options for like collecting and storing all of the drops you're going to get from this farm. I'm going to give you the easy option and I'm going to give you the convenient option. Okay, so first for the easy way. So you can take one of these holes right here and you can dig it all the way down to Y level 26. If you go all the way down to Y level 26 and let your guardians fall on that block right there, they will die 100% of the time. Now, with this little setup right here, which you could very easily do, you could take a chest, you put said chest right here, put hopper right here, and at that point right there, you're kind of good to go. If you wanted to, you could close this thing off. And when the guardian drops right there, all of his items, they're going to plop right in this chest and you can individually go through and get each chest. Now, you can either get these chests the hard way, which is you have to kind of like go down like each little area, right? Like you'd have to kind of like come from up here and maybe like dig a little hole that kind of goes down and leads you to that chest. And then you'd have to swim over to this one and go down and then swim over to this one and go down. Or you can do what I did in this instance right here, which is I carved out the whole area. So everywhere from one side to the other, that way I can just kind of like walk around through here. It's a little bit of digging to have to do. I even gave myself a little area from our AFK spot that's right here. This is the AFK spot. So if I had a ladder here, I could just kind of go all the way down to the storage area, which is fine. And let me show you really quick exactly how this right here would operate. So now I have all of these ones just in this one little row set up. So if I turn things back on with mob spawning, which you'll see in just a moment here, there you go. So they are dropping, they are dying, and I'm getting those drops right here into the chest. All of them very easily accessible. But maybe you want things to be even more accessible and you want to make this farm faster as well. Let me show you. Now this right here, this is maximum efficiency. I went through, I found a couple slime chunks that were in here where slimes would spawn, and I went and put buttons down. That way slimes can't spawn in here anymore. And I set up a cool little area where they can actually drop into water and those drops will still get cycled through the system. So I found a couple of blocks that'll do this. The enchanting table is one and the bell is another one. You get an enchanting table or a bell and put it right here. When the guardians hit it, they will die, but the items will actually still get flushed down. I'll actually turn this thing on while I continue to talk here. And what I've done was I just made it so all of the drops have a place to go. As you see, they would work their way down. See, look at that. Look at it happen. They would work all the drops would work their way down. All these ones would work their way down. I put ice underneath where I stopped the water. The water flow, this is just gonna be something you're gonna have to figure out on your own. You'll be able to download a copy of this world in case you kind of want to see how I did it for yourselves, but it's just very simple, just moving water and items through water. And you see, I kind of take them all to a central location. All of my items, try not to pick any up, come across through here and end up in this little area right here. So all of this side kind of all filters in through here. All of that side all filters in through here, and then I could make more storage for this if I wanted to. If I was going to AFK here a long time, like maybe a couple overnights, I would probably make this row of chests like 5 blocks tall or something like that, 5 chests tall, just to make sure I have a lot of storage, because this will get you a lot of drops. It's going to give you about 16,000 drops per hour. And keep in mind, either one of these methods, whether you just have the chests over with each one of the little pod areas there, or you bring everything to one spot, you didn't have to use any redstone for this at all. There's no redstone anywhere in this. The only semi-redstone component is hoppers. That's it. So we made this thing super duper easy to do. It could be a little expensive on this part. I don't know if anything else works. I've tried a couple other options. It used to be that chests, like regular chests, would work, but they don't work anymore. So only one I could find was these two guys right here. But once you get some of those in, you're good to go. You have yourself a really fast, really well working farm. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, be sure to leave a like and drop a comment down below. It does help out with that YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel for more great tutorials, and you can get a download of this world in the description below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. you.